My name is Vernisa, and this is my podcast, Speak Up. Shout out to my new listeners out there. For those of you that don't know, the mission statement for this podcast is we'll use our voices to motivate people to overcome life challenges through self love and respect. So this is a place for self love and respect. Before we get started, a quick shout out to my amazing sponsor, Samuel Patrick Photography. You're unique, you're qualified, and you're ready for your next chapter. Stand out and make a lasting impression with professional photography. Samuel Patrick will help you have the impact you desire while staying true to your values and visions. Book your discovery call today at www.samuelpatrick.photography. So you guys, make sure you guys tap in. He takes some wonderful pictures and look, tap in. I'm excited to work with him as well. Here's some examples of some of his work. Look, so apparently he has a really good eye. So tap in today and make your consultation call. But you guys, I'm excited for today's episode. I have a really special guest. It's actually my first artist spotlight of the year. I'm just doing artist spotlight, so I'm excited to get to know her music and everything and see what's going on. So you guys give it up for artist Lovely Ocean. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome to SpeakUpJV. Yes, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so my name is Lovely Ocean. People sometimes call me Lo or Ocean. It doesn't matter. But I am originally from Monrovia, California, and I've been making music since about 2017. But I've been writing music or just writing in general since I was very small. So that's a little bit about me, the foundation.
I love that. And where did the name Lovely Ocean come from?
That's funny. So my ex on Instagram, he used a random name generator because he would always change his username. And one day it came up with Lovely Ocean Waters. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And so then he changed his name again. And I was like, do you think I can use your last username? He's like, yeah, I don't care. And so I started using Lovely Ocean Waters. So then when I started making music, I was like, maybe I should start going by Lovely Ocean because some people call me Lo anyway because my name is Lauren. So it just stuck.
I love it. It actually goes with the vibe of your music too. So it sounds so calming and relaxing. So I'm here for it. It reminds me of like the sunlight. So
thank you.
You are so welcome. But yeah, let's get into your artist spotlight. So yeah, I know you mentioned you've been doing music since you were younger, but yeah, what's the story of like when it first started for you? Like I'm actually doing music and stepping out there and saying, this is something I want to take serious.
Yeah, so I would say that was probably like 2017. Because like I mentioned before, like my ex, he also did music. And so I was like, I feel like this is something I could do because, I'd written poetry and short stories, just like creative writing. I was like, I feel like this is something I could do. And so he said, well, if you're going to do it, like, you better really do it and don't play around. So I took that as a challenge. And here I am today, still doing it.
I am so here for it. I love hearing how people got started with something and like stuck to it. So that is great. And, what's a message that you want listeners to receive while listening to your music?
Wow, that's a good question. Just that every song definitely has a different vibe. Each one was written in a different state of mind. But I hope that they could at least find something to kind of connect with, because that's what I really like to write about, is just being authentically human and vulnerable. And so a lot of people can relate to that.
And I love that because music just brings out everything out of people. I literally have playlists for different things, whether I'm like in a good mood. I got a twerking playlist. I got like I'm in my feelings playlist. So I just feel like when you have that type of genre where it's like, okay, I want to tap into this, how I want to feel, it's like I'm gonna turn that on. So
exactly.
So in your opinion, I've checked out your music and it sounds great, by the way. And I love how you have a different range of sound. What makes your sound stand out?
I would say I focus on not trying to sound like anyone or anything or any like place. We got like the West Coast, East Coast, South, Midwest. I like to just kind of vibe, and sometimes I just like combine things that I think sound good. There are I don't know, like I just kind of make what I think sounds good and not necessarily what I think people want to hear. So I don't know.
That's you tapping into yourself, and it goes with today's episode. We'll get into that shortly. So, okay, I like that. And I know in music there's a lot of collabs and future collabs and things like that. If you can collab with any artist, who would it be and why?
I would say for the longest time, my answer was always D'Angelo.
Yes,
Always but since that's not an option at the moment, I would say maybe like Rhapsody or maybe like Kehlani.
Wow. Okay. Yes, I can see that too. I'm so here for. I love asking you that question because I'm like so curious. Like, what who do you see yourself working with? So we're gonna manifest that. Shoot.
Of course.
So, that's a big one. So I know obviously working on music, any craft, any brand, even with me with my SpeakUpJV brand and things like that. There's a lot of different lessons and just kind of things we kind of go through, and we learn more about ourselves. Especially when it gets challenging, and sometimes when you feel like you're on your own. So what's an important lesson that your music career has taught you?
Ooh, I would say probably the value of being patient. And learning not to compare yourself to others, even though it is hard, because you might be looking at another artist like, oh, they're doing all this stuff, like why isn't things like happening for me? Or I've been kind of stagnant and whatnot. But I found that being able to be patient about the journey and go at it at a decent pace has allowed me to really solidify like my music and improve. Because there's sometimes I feel like if I had like a random viral moment and then they push me out there, like I feel like the development wouldn't be as solid as if I took those steps and got to perform at like smaller venues and then work my way up, things like that. So.
I like that. That's a big thing I live off of. One theme I was talking about is, you can't be late to your own life. Like I'm really huge on alignment and that things happen when you're ready and when it's supposed to happen. And you're right. It's like if you get pushed into that opportunity super fast and you're not prepared for it, you're gonna fumble it.
Yeah.
Versus like you said, working on that patience and development. So when that time does come, it's like, okay. So
it feels right.
Feels right, huh? And before we get into the actual episode, any upcoming shows projects that you would like to shout out?
Yeah, so I actually have a new album that's coming out on April 24th, and it's called Homework. I'm really excited for it. It's taken me a long time to get it like actually finalized and in motion, so I'm really excited. It sounds good. I feel confident about it, so that's how I know that we got something good.
Okay, and can you shout any any platforms and stuff or tags people can find when it does?
Yeah, so you can. So my music is on all streaming platforms. Lovely Ocean, one word. You can find me on Instagram at Lovely Ocean Waters. I'm on TikTok at yo_Lovely Ocean. I have like a Facebook page, but and yeah, so that's where I primarily am.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, Facebook. I'm like, that's just for the family. I'll get on every now and then, but I feel you. But you guys, in honor of Lovely Ocean, tonight we're going to be talking about the importance of embracing who you are. Today's episode is titled "You Are," and y'all, I'm in my 30s, and I've really been tapping into myself a lot more lately and learning what does that look like as my identity changes as a woman, like growing into the woman that I'm supposed to be. So I'm excited for today's conversation. So let's get into the Ask Up question of the day. So if you're out there listening, please comment. Always go back and read the comments. I'm going to answer the actual question first, and I'll let you answer. So today's actual question of the day is, what makes you stand out? And I was very strategic on this question because I feel like when it comes to tapping into yourself, you need to know your strengths and know who you are. I think, in my opinion, something that I feel makes me stand out is my light. I like to just bring a light anywhere I go, even if like I'm kind of going through something. Like I'm very big on like not letting things dim my light, and I feel like that's something that makes me who I am. So that's my answer to that. So what about you? What makes you stand out?
It's funny. I would actually say me being an introvert makes me stand out, because people who know me in real life or have known me since I was a child know that I've always been pretty shy and quiet. And so even if I'm like getting ready for a performance, I'm very like still quiet because I'm trying to prepare mentally. And so like people would see me like, just kind of by myself. But then when I go on stage, they're like, oh my gosh. So, being able to kind of switch on a different light, I feel like that kind of makes me stand out a little bit.
I love that. Yeah, that's so good. I feel like when the introvert does come out, it's like, woo, like I have a little brother and he's actually like very TikTok famous, but he's very, I know him as a sibling, so he's very introverted, real chill, real laid back. But when I see him on TikTok, I'm like, who's this? So I feel like your friends are like, okay, so another person. So that's beautiful though. I'm so here for it. Okay. So let's talk about the importance of embracing who you are. I mean, I think it's beautiful how unique we are all crafted. I think when we try to be like somebody else, take somebody else's path, or do all those things, you actually stunt your own growth. You grow the most when you embrace the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, all those things of yourself. And I feel like that brings that resilience for whatever you're going after. And especially if you're chasing a brand or whatever, you actually get the best results when you are just being yourself. So I love that. We're all meant to be unique. And I think that is a beauty thing. So I have a question. So how has embracing who you are helped you with your creativity in music?
I feel like it's been easy and hard. Easy because me allowing myself to be me, and I don't have to keep up like this facade of trying to be something I'm not, and try to keep a story going like based off a lie just so that people get this certain impression of me that I'm trying to keep up. But at the same time, it's been difficult because it really has challenged me to really look at myself and dig into things that maybe I wasn't ready to, dig into and talk about. And it's like, establishing certain boundaries with myself. Like, what am I actually comfortable doing? What am I willing to disclose? So I feel like it's been a good way to just really find out like what I really like. I don't know. Yeah.
No, and I appreciate your honesty because I feel like a lot of creatives feel that way, when it comes to like tapping in. Like I like to write poetry too, right? And honestly, since my cousin passed away, she was a big poetry person. She passed away almost 2 years ago, and I haven't wrote a poem since. And I feel like that's like an area I still haven't tapped into to like kind of get back. That was the way we bonded. It was like poetry, going to poetry shows. So I feel you on that. It's like sometimes those pauses happen when you don't want to kind of dig yet into certain areas or like address certain things. So I feel that. Thank you for that. Like you helping me realize some things. So that's really good. I appreciate your answer.
No problem. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh yeah. Thank you. You take it day by day, but that's one of the beautiful things about creativity and stuff is that it is like a good cushion, when you are ready to tap in. So
exactly.
Thank you for that. But you guys, it is now time for the tweet up segment. So y'all know I like to be on Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it. Something that I tweeted this week that goes with today's episode is don't get stuck in life being chained to other people's opinions. So this is huge. And I say this because, we're in a time where it's so easy to seek validation and do all these other things, go after people. And you don't realize sometimes, like I don't know if you guys ever were about to do something that you wanted to do. And then someone said, oh no, don't do that. Or they impose their fears in you and you stop because you started researching what they said or thinking about it. And then you didn't even do it. And then guess what? You're left with the what if. And I feel like when it comes to our goals, especially our creativity or something that God has placed in our heart to go after, that vision because you've seen it. And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up in what other people are saying, but they didn't get the vision you got. So remember, seeking outside validation will keep you in a loophole and away from who you truly are. So I always say this, people are going to talk regardless, whether you're doing good or bad. You can be doing horrible, they're going to talk about you. You're doing good, they're going to talk about you. So let's pick which one we want to do.
For real.
Thoughts on that? Let me tweet it.
Yeah, that's really valid because at a point, like, yeah, it is nice to, hear things from other people like, oh, getting praise, but at the same time it's like, are you making your art for the praise, or are you doing it because it's what you want to do? And so I feel like sometimes people can fall down like some kind of rabbit hole where they're just like chasing the validation, because it does feel good, but at the same time, like, it really strips your music or your art of kind of the substance that it had at first. Because people, the opinions of people, good or bad, is powerful.
Yes, very so. I love the word where. So I have a question. What's your favorite way to tap back in with yourself and silence outside noise?
I would say writing, but sometimes that's not always possible because I do get a lot of writer's block.
Yes.
Like constantly. But I like to draw. And so I draw things. I've also been baking a lot lately. So just really like using my hands for things helps me just, recenter, and puts me like in the moment, like I'm present. So I'm not thinking about like everything else that's going on. I'm trying to focus on, getting these cookies.
I heard that. And shout out to the bakers out there. Like, I like to cook, but baking ain't my lane. I'm a cook, but bake. So people that could bake and it comes out moist and it's perfect, shout out to y'all. Because
that's funny.
That's a whole nother skill. Like, that's deeper than cooking. So we'll take it. But you guys, it is now time for the Life Up segment. So Life Up is when I take a problem in today's world and I relate it to today's episode. So today's Life Up is holding back social media content for your brand out of fear, waiting for the right time, and being defined by validation. So my content creators, everybody out there going after something, you got to just silence that. We're going to F the likes, all these different things, or the fear. You have to start somewhere. I feel like, we have this notion, I think when we see like other people who blew up on social media, right? It didn't take them. Some people, yes, there's cases where someone had that one post that went viral, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, most people are building. And it's a lot of things that are being done behind the scenes. And I think you can't let fear stop you. And it's a lot of character development and things like that go in between it. And waiting for the right time. What is the right time? We're going to be waiting forever. We always waiting for the right time. And being defined by validation. We already kind of talked about that, but validation is a lie as well. So any thoughts on the Life Up segment?
Oh, man. Yeah, I have this thing about time and timing. Like, for a lot of things, I'm like, I don't like to be late. I like to be on time, very punctual. But with this journey, it has taught me like things get pushed back. Things get pushed back a lot. And it gets to a point where it feels like, well, is this even happening anymore? And it can be like a little discouraging. But things will happen in time. But even in terms of like trying to make content, even like for this album, to let people know that it's coming out, I'm really bad at it. And that's something that like I've been aware of for a minute, but like I try to like, do some posts and make TikToks about it, and whoever sees it. I don't know. There's something about making the content on top of the music that I'm like, I can only focus on like one thing at a time.
So you're like, timing is the thing. I feel that. And like, that's a good one. And honestly, y'all, how do we fix this? We fix this by just going after it, silencing fear. There's no right time. Make it the right time. I think you got to step in right there and make things the right time so it can fall into place. So I'm big on that. So a question, what's a piece of advice you would give to a person who wants to show more vulnerability in their music?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say being able to first like identify what's going on in your body and in your mind, and like what are you feeling, and finding a language for what you're feeling. Like say like you're feeling depressed or sad, but you don't have to like come out straight and say it. You could just be like, I don't know, like the weight of the world is, you know, crushing me to a point where daily functioning feels impossible. Something, like that.
Already dropping bars.
But I would say a big thing that's honestly helped me is being in therapy, because I started going to therapy when I was like 17 after my mom died, and
Sorry to hear that.
it it really allowed me to talk about things and feelings that I hadn't talked about with anyone before, and kind of give life to things that I just kind of thought were normal and that other people, like, oh yeah, everyone goes through that, but it's like, no, not necessarily. So I feel like also having some kind of outside help to also identify things helps. But also taking the leap, I would say that's like a big thing, because when I was first making music, like when I first started and I got booked for my first show, and I'm like, is this something that I really want to do? And yeah, and it takes a lot to like go up on stage, and talking in front of people is one thing, but you're also like performing, like that's
Right?
That's a whole different ballpark. But I feel like, once you're able to just kind of like, I don't know, release and really like show who you are, it does get easier. And then people start to like really vibe with what you're putting out, because I've had songs where I do talk about like being depressed, being anxious, just all types of things. Like I have songs that I've written about my mom, and people have reached out to me to be like I resonated a lot with that, and I know it's not easy to write about it and rap about it. So like, thank you for doing that. And something like that is like unexpected, because you don't always expect people to relate or even reach out about things like that.
And no, and that is beautiful, because you never know who's going through the exact same thing. It just needs to hear those words like written out. Like I think sometimes too, music speaks for us. Like when we can't get the thoughts out, that artist is saying it perfectly, and it's like wow. So, and my condolences to you as well. Yeah.
Thank
So.
you.
Yeah, it's music is like very powerful. And speaking of performing, it's funny because I like to call myself a professional karaokeer. Like I can't sing, I can't rap, but I know how to perform. So when I'm doing that karaoke, it's like this other person come out like an alter ego. So I feel you. It is a whole nother craft being able to perform over just like saying some lyrics. So shout out to my karaoke people out there.
For real.
I love it. But you guys, it is now time for the drink up water segment. If you're out there listening, please pull out some water and drink some water. And I have a water fact for tonight. She got one. There we go. Let's get it. Today's water fact is water keeps your body hydrated and refreshed and helps maintain your skin's elasticity. People who drink large amounts of water are less likely to suffer from scars, wrinkles, and soft lines, and they won't show as many signs of aging as those who drink little amounts of water. As you grow older, it is tougher for your body to retain water. So by inputting more water into your system, you're helping your body and your skin stay hydrated, according to PureLukesMedical.com. So let's keep the skin looking good. Let's keep glowing. Let's drink water. Okay. So I like to give you guys a nice water fact. Now back to the episodes. Speaking of embracing who you are, your mistakes make you who you are. I like to change my perspective of like how I see a mistake. I used to be one of those people like I'll make a mistake and be so like, oh my goodness, why I do that? Da, da, da. But then I look at what comes out of making that mistake, and who I grow into, and it protects you. Your mistakes actually protect you in the future, because it's like at least with mistakes you can see something coming, you recognize it because you went down that pattern already, and it's like easier to kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna do that again, and go from there. So, and I just want to say, have grace with yourself even through the mistakes. That's a part of like embracing who you are, is loving yourself through it. Like I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So big one. So you guys, it is now time for the show up segment. This is the show up segment. If you're out there listening, please comment. How did you show up for yourself this week? So how did I show up for myself this week? I showed up for myself this week by taking my time. I'm big like you on time. Like I'm gonna show up on time, doing this, da, da, da. And I caught myself like rushing, walking fast to everything. So lately I've been like, I saw a post about the beauty of swinging your hips, like, women walking with their hips swing, their natural flow. So I've been taking my time walking slower, moving slower, catching myself getting out of survival mode, or, I'm really working on like regulating my nervous system. So that's the way that I really showed up for myself this week. And I saw good results. So what about you? How did you show up for yourself this week?
That's a good, that's a good question. Ooh, how did I show up for myself this week? Let's see. I went to work at least 4 days out of the week.
Hey.
Because how else did I show up? I feel like when I've gotten home from work, I haven't done anything, because usually like when I'm at work, I'm like, okay, when I get home, I'm gonna do this, like all these expectations. But I'm like, you know what? Like I'm gonna just chill. Because the things will get done, but I'm gonna just take this time to chill. So yeah, taking time for myself, I feel like it's been a good way for me to show up for myself.
I'm gonna clap for that because that's a big one. Yes, pour into yourself first. So I like to ask all my guests a fun question. So your fun question for today is: if you can be any cartoon character, who would it be and why?
Any cartoon character? That is funny. Wow. Huh. I would say, okay, this is gonna be like super random. But there's I don't know if you ever seen the show Smiling Friends.
No, I don't know. Which channel was that on? Was that Nickelodeon cartoon?
I think it's it comes on like Adult Swim, I think. But it's
okay. Okay, I was okay. So it's a character on there,
And it's crazy because he's like a random side character. He's like this old man who is a building inspector, and he's so funny looking because he's got like these big ears and stuff. But I don't know. I just found him to be cute and just
Does he smile a lot?
Not really.
Oh,
kind of towards the end, but I don't know. Just his whole personality. He's just like, very curious, looking at me. And I was like, I like this guy.
Okay, we'll take it. So to the people that watch that out there, like that's the character she would be. So I'm so here for it. But you guys, it is our time for the wrap-up segment. This is the wrap-up segment. So how does this relate to self-love? Self-love is loving yourself enough to embrace who you are. That's one of the biggest part of self-love is embracing you. All of it. So lovely Ocean, how do you practice self-love?
I feel like one of the biggest things that I do is just acknowledging the fact that I'm still here. Because life is hard and things, they do get tough. But the fact that I'm still able to be alive to keep going, and just acknowledging that is one of the biggest ways that I try to show myself some love. And also just kind of celebrating even like the smallest things that happen. Because I feel like sometimes we wait for like the really big win to happen to start celebrating, but honestly, like start small. Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like these are very good questions. It really requires you to.
Yes, I don't. I hear that. I hear that sentence every episode. I love it. That makes me happy because I was like, it's not the sugar coated self-love people think. So I love that. No, appreciate you sharing that. And my final question, another big one that I like to ask all my guests: what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for simply being myself. And yeah, like, I'm a pretty cool person. I'm funny. People dig that sometimes. But I also want to be remembered for like making good music that people can relate to, people can't relate to, but they think it sounds good. Being remembered for at one point having really cool, colorful hair that I had to keep chopping off. Yeah, just different little aspects, but most importantly, just that I was always myself and just authentic, but also kind. And yeah, just here.
Look, that's a great answer. Look, that's what it's about. And remember, guys, your best art comes from being you, and stay focused on your own journey. That's one of the big things we want to hit here. But I appreciate you coming on here, sharing your story, and learning more about you. Before we go, can you shout your information out? Where people find you and follow and listen to your music?
Thank you. So yeah, I am basically on every streaming platform. Lovely Ocean, one word, big L, big O. You're bound to find me somewhere. Um, I'm on Instagram, Lovely Ocean Waters. TikTok, yo_Lovely Ocean. If you Google me, you'll find like different social media pages. I also have a Twitter/X, but
Yep, I love that.
but it's not really active like that. I do have a website coming out soon, so I hope that it'll be finished on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So album comes out on the 24th. It's called Homework.
Let's get it.
It's a really good album. It was based on my therapist giving me a homework assignment.
Wow.
Yeah, because I hadn't been writing or making anything for like a long time, and I was like super depressed. And she was like, "I'm gonna give you a homework assignment," and I was like, "Bro, like, come on." She was like, I just want you to make one thing. She was like, "It could be a song, it could be a drawing, it could be whatever, just one thing." So I was like, "Okay, I'll make one thing." And then one thing turned into another song, and another song, and now it's an album. So
I love how it allowed you to get your spark back. Like that, sometimes we just need that push, and it's like,
Mhm.
bam, it all clicks into place. So make sure you guys tap in with her upcoming projects. I'm excited. I'll have to tap in as well. But before we go, you guys, quick shout out to my amazing sponsors. Shout out to Samuel Patrick Photography. You're unique, you're qualified, and you're ready for your next chapter. Stand out and make a long-lasting impression with professional photography. Samuel Patrick will help you have the impact you desire while staying true to your values and vision. Book your discovery call today at www.samuelpatrick.photography, and here's some more of his work. You guys, please tap in. You will not be disappointed. And I appreciate you guys tapping into this wonderful episode. Make sure you follow SpeakUpJV at SpeakUpJV. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, all that at Vernisa. And tell your friends about SpeakUpJV, and make sure you like and subscribe to this video and tap in with Lovely Ocean's music. I will be back next week with another amazing episode. Love you guys. Bye.